the Mushroom World is still in a bit of turmoil because the Mushroom Kingdom was not the only place that Bowser conquered. There are all these other, nearby kingdoms that he took over. So they decide they're going to save all of the kingdoms. So they go through and fight off all of Bowser's lieutenants, the Koopalings, that he'd left in charge of these 7 different kingdoms throughout the Mushroom World. And, they defeat all of them and rescue their kings who had been transformed. While this is all going on, Bowser kidnaps Peach, and then they go to Bowser's castle and rescue her again, and defeat Bowser, and drop him into a bottomless pit where he presumably dies one more time. See, I think we're up to 3 Bowser deaths at this point, because I assume that he also died the first time that Mario defeated him, just, dropping him to lava. So, they've saved the Mushroom World, and the princess is eternally grateful to the Mario Brothers for their service. So, she grants Mario a castle, and, gives him a noble title. He is now a landed noble in the Mushroom Kingdom. Then they get news from somewhat more distant Sarasaland that they have been conquered by an alien named Tatanga. So Mario goes off there. He's still on this big adventure kick. He goes alone. Luigi decides that he's fine. He doesn't go anywhere. He's had enough adventure. He goes back home and decides to be a plumber again more. And Luigi manages to renew the plumbing contract, the sewer contract with the city of New York. Presumably with some kind of grift, convincing them that the Turtle Menace is going to come back at any time, and he needs to protect them, and, hold the line. And
I don't think Luigi is the kind of person to do a grift, but I do think he did tell them about the Mushroom Kingdom, and they got terrified.
Yeah, that does sound more likely. He told them, the New York government now knows about the Mushroom Kingdom. They know about the warp pipe system and all the things there.
The only person who knows how these warp pipes even work, and is still on Earth, is Luigi.
That is correct. So, Luigi gains the contract, which he doesn't need to worry about because there are no actual incursions anymore. Bowser's forces are defeated, and they're focused on shit in the Mushroom World anyway. So they're not coming through the warp pipes to New York anymore. Luigi can just sit pretty and relax and have this nice, cushy contract where he doesn't need to do much work, but, he is technically responsible for protecting the city if there are any incursions. So that's what Luigi does after they've saved the Mushroom World, while Mario goes off to Sarasaland to save their Princess Daisy from the alien Tatanga, which he does.
By the way, aliens are real.
Yeah, there's alien. He spends a bit of time in Sarasaland afterwards. He takes in some local sports, some very unusual local sports. But then he comes back home to find that his castle has been stolen by none other than his childhood tormentor, Wario. So, let's talk more about Wario.
Okay.
We know that Wario always got Mario into trouble as a kid. But we also know that Wario is a fey dream imp. So,
or at least so we discovered.
This is what we have learned through our research.
That's what we're calling this.
Yeah, it's primary source research. So, my take on this is that, baby Mario is being tormented in his mind, in his dreams, by Wario, and kind of being very young, has trouble distinguishing fantasy from reality sometimes, and starts thinking Wario is real in the real world, and acts out as a result and gets in trouble a lot. Now, at some point, presumably when they moved from the Mushroom Kingdom to Earth, Mario stopped being tormented by Wario. Once they left this world of magic to the mundanity of New York City, Wario could no longer manifest in Mario's mind. and as a result, kind of stopped taking on Mario's appearance, and became this bulbous, bilching creature called Wart, who took over Subcon, and was then eventually defeated by Mario, and this kind of rekindled the connection between them. So, now, Wart is starting to become Wario again, and remembering Mario, and he escapes Subcon, and wants to get back at Mario, so steals his castle. Because also he wants a castle. Castles are nice. So, Mario returns to his castle. It's been stolen by Wario. It's been locked by this door with 6 coin key slot holes that he has to find and go across the whole little island where his castle is. By the way, this is a terrible island where his castle is. I'm pretty sure the princess gave him the worst castle in the kingdom. There's a bizarre giant mechanical effigy of Mario there for some reason. It's a real weird place. But anyway, he gathers all of this stuff and he gets in the castle and defeats Wario and gets his castle back. Then there's a plague. There's a pandemic in the Mushroom Kingdom. And the princess reaches out to Mario to ask for help. Because the Toads don't want to take their medicine. The Toads don't want to get vaccinated. As we all know, sometimes people don't want to do the things that will help end a pandemic. So, Peach reaches out to Mario to help convince the Toads that this is a good thing that they should do. So, they decide to do this series of commercials where Dr. Mario tells them to take their pills. And it works. And they do. Mario is not a real doctor, he only plays one on TV. So, after, they do this whole ad campaign and go through this whole rigmarole and convince everything in the pandemic, and so Mario and Luigi and Peach decide they need a vacation after all of this. Because Mario's kind of been on non-stop adventure for a while at this point. So, they take a vacation to Dinosaur Land. And that's what we're seeing right now.
So, clearly the vacation worked.
Yeah. So they went on vacation, and it turns out that Bowser was there on Dinosaur Land. He had actually figured out how to defeat the Yoshis. He magicked them into eggs.
Their natural form.
So, that's how he managed to conquer the Yoshis, get them out of the way and conquer Yoshi's Island and the surrounding Dinosaur Land. And then, hey, Mario and the princess show up, and so, hey, the princess is there, let's kidnap her. Why not? She's there and she was left alone, so they grab her. And, then Mario goes through and has to fight all of the Koopalings again, and free all of the Yoshis and also Peach, and wipe out all of the Koopa forests in Dinosaur Land.
Spoiler for the next several videos, this is what happens.
Also, they go to space. They go to the Star Road. They discover there's a connection to the stars in Dinosaur Land, which they don't get much out of yet. But this is like their first introduction to the stars.
Beyond just Starman.
Yeah.
Bonus power. But
So
there was celestial magic in the world beforehand.
yeah. So their previous vacation having been kind of thwarted, they decide to have another vacation. And this time they invite Princess Daisy as well. They all together, Mario, Luigi, Peach, and Daisy, go to Earth to take a vacation, where Mario takes everybody on another globe-trotting golf tour. But for some reason, Mario is kind of a jerk on this, and doesn't let the princesses play golf.